This is an important military video and it will affect everyone. And I think we should listen to it. We really should listen to it. It involves other countries. Hello there, Nadez Rachel, Bethany Abounds. Can y'all hear me? Hello, you all. So, yeah. Are we going to find out what's up? I was listening to a few minutes of it, and I thought, because this is in a historical meeting that has taken place. It hasn't taken place in more than 30 years, and it is important. Hello, you all. Good evening. We doing great. You all, we're going to go right to it. Let me put myself right here. Can you see me? Yes, Gina, we've been looking at you the whole time. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute right there. I want you to, oopsie, Gina, honey, don't you be moving the men out of the way. We got to see the men first. I think I want to turn on the air up here because it's going to get hot. It's going to get hot, you all. I want you to look at that right there. Do we got audio? Okay, we got an audio. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to turn on this air conditioning up here in this loft area because it's really hot. So we're going to go straight over there to the Pentagon. It's under the Pentagon press briefings, but as you can see, we're looking at NATO, which you want to know what's going on. You really do. I want to know what's going on. I thought, Gina, honey, you just going to go and you're going to see if you can see any distorted pixelations. But really what they're saying is a whole lot more important than that right now. So we're going to watch it. I'm just going to, we'll go to the screen and we're going to look at it, you all, because thank you for joining. Okay, we're doing good. Hello, everyone. Thank you. So let me see. I want to come over here to the Pentagon press briefing. You can see we've got it right here. Just the screen. And what I'm going to do is, I got to make sure you all hear it. Let's see.
We will now have a joint press conference of the chair of the Military Committee, Admiral Rob Bauer, the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, General Chris Cavoli, and the Supreme Allied Commander Transformation, General Philippe Lavigne. Each military leader will have a short opening statement and then we will take questions afterwards. Admiral Bauer, may I please ask you to take the floor?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you for attending this press conference. Today we held a historic meeting of the NATO Military Committee. For the first time, we had the Finnish Chief of Defense around the table as our new brother in arms. Having Finland in the alliance makes us all stronger and safer. But this meeting was historic for another reason as well, because today the Chiefs of Defense discussed an unparalleled integration of NATO and national military planning. NATO is in a new era for collective defense, and it is an era that we are ready for. As the Secretary General, Jens Stoltenberg,
I am trying to say hello, Apple Brooks, on my cell phone, and it will not let me send the message. Oh, it's decided it wanted me to send it now. Apple Brooks, honey, I was trying to say hello to you. It kept saying error, sending message. Error, sending message. It would not let me. Can you all hear me? Okay, we got it. Okay, it's sent. Okay, because I thought, no, I'm going to have to pause my video. Hello. Yeah. So let's come back over here. I'm sorry about that, you all. We're going to come right back and look at him.
said at the opening session this morning, the transformation of our alliance over the last decade, over the past year even, has been nothing short of remarkable. But we're not done yet. In the run up to the Vilnius summit, we are integrating NATO and national planning more and more. And we are rapidly increasing the readiness of our forces. Today, Chiefs of Defense took stock of the progress made so far on the development of the regional plans and the new NATO force model, which will be required to produce more troops at high readiness across our alliance. Readiness and effectiveness is about much more than numbers. You need speed and scale, as well as flexibility and a wide range of capabilities. Which is why we also address the requirement for strengthened command and control capabilities, which are linked to our new force requirements, which will set the number and types of equipment and organizations that we require across all regions and all domains. I will let General Cavoli provide more details on these work strands. But the main thing to note is that this process is ongoing, and the fruits of that labor will be presented in a few months to the Allied heads of state and government at the Vilnius summit. All our efforts are focused on making sure that the alliance's political will is matched with military capabilities, which is more important than ever. Russia's war against Ukraine is the gravest threat to Euro-Atlantic security in decades. What Moscow hoped to be a 3-day war is now entering its 15th month. The strength and determination of the Ukrainian armed forces and the Ukrainian people continue to astound us. Earlier today, we dedicated a special session to the military situation in and around Ukraine. The Ukrainian military representative provided a detailed account of the situation on the ground and stipulated the support that Ukraine requires to continue the fight for what is legally theirs. The Chiefs of Defense reaffirmed their unrelenting support. There is no doubt that NATO will support Ukraine for as long as it takes. Make no mistake, Russia will not stop at Ukraine. Its ambitions lie far beyond its borders. We have seen it with Abkhazia and the South as Ossetia, as well as Transnistria. Again and again, Russia has shook the foundations of the rules-based international order. And unfortunately, they have ushered us, NATO, in a new era of collective defense. Not just for Ukraine, not just for NATO, but for all free democracies in the world. The fundamental difference between crisis management and collective defense is this. It is not we, but our adversary who determines the timeline. We have to prepare for the fact that conflict can present itself at any time. NATO.
This is a historical briefing because this has not happened in 30 years. They are gearing up. They're talking about war. They're saying that it will not stop at Ukraine. It will continue to spread. Can you hear me? They're talking about what's coming. And they're planning. They're very serious now. The things are getting ready to get heated up. The timing of this video is really interesting. It really is. So you all look at that, because I don't want to interrupt what he's saying. But yeah, this is a very important video. I've never seen a NATO video like this. I haven't even seen a NATO video for that matter.
Has been preparing for this new era for years. The NATO military authorities have been monitoring Russia's pattern of increasingly aggressive behavior. Together, we have implemented the biggest increase in collective defense since the Cold War. But that work is not done yet. The integration of NATO and national military planning will enable us to do exactly what the NATO flag symbolizes.
I think it was yesterday.
We will all follow the same compass. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has changed immensely in the last year. But NATO will do what it does best: unite, adapt, and protect. The determination and devotion of our 3.2 million men and women in uniform is unwavering. They are all working towards one common goal, the protection of the 1 billion people living on Allied soil and the democratic values we all hold dear. Together, they send an unmistakable message to any potential aggressor and embody an important truth that we are much stronger together than we are alone.
That's
Thank
true.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to speak with you today. Maybe I could just give you a quick update on the implementation of the deterrence and defense of the Euro-Atlantic area concept, strategic concept that we call DDA. As I stated in this forum back in January, the DDA family of plans is really the how of how the alliance will operate in peace, crisis, and war to provide for our collective defense. The plans that come out of DDA, the strategic plans as well as the regional plans, these will drive our structure, our operations, our activities, and importantly, as the chairman pointed out, our investments into the future. And this will include changes in our command and control structures. The community inside Allied Command Operations has worked diligently over the past several months to develop sound, objective defensive plans, and I can proudly say that we are on track. We are rapidly increasing the readiness and enablement of our forces, and we're making sure that they are ready to face current as well as future threats, and my colleague General Lavigne will talk about the future in a moment. Our regional plans are geographically oriented plans to defend specific parts of NATO territory. They blend national defense plans of our frontlines nations into NATO plans, and this optimizes NATO's ability to move forces to the right time, to the right place at the right time. This change will move us from an alliance that was optimized for out-of-area contingency operations to an alliance fit for the purpose of large-scale operations to defend every inch of the alliance's territory, and this is necessitated by the new realities we face.
Large scale. Large scale. That means massive to defend NATO territory. All the countries that are involved in, who are part of NATO. And I don't know if you heard where they said that they were going to have to increase recruitment and things like that. Let's see it. Let's listen to it, you all. Off the hook, honey. Something serious is going on. And I don't know what OTAN means backwards. Is this some kind of a Greek word, OTAN, NATO and OTAN? See, let's listen to this is a historical 30-year meeting.
Our strongest and most enduring advantage, however, will continue to be the unmatched unity of this alliance. The DDA strategy is a powerful demonstration of this cohesion, and it's designed to ensure our alliance remains strong, our citizens safe, and our values secure. Thank you very much. I look forward to your questions.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good afternoon. I'm glad of this chance to answer your questions, but I want to start with a few words about where we are and where we need to go. And we are fostering the transformation of our military instrument of power to prepare us for future challenges at the same time as we face the challenges of today. Today we are ready to support Ukraine for as long as it takes to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and at the same time we need to prepare for the future security environment. This environment is what I called the new reality. I describe this new reality with 3 words: more, faster, and everywhere. So by more, I mean more data, I mean more unmanned system, but also more hard power, more attrition. By faster, I mean computing power and soon quantum technology or hypersonic weapons that will require us to decide swiftly, leveraging our assets in space or cyberspace, but also raising our connective superiority. And by everywhere, I mean that these challenges are boundless across domains and theaters. Simultaneity is already a prominent aspect of the war in Ukraine. We know this characteristic will only increase and expand in the future. So, NATO must keep its edge today. Saker talked about it. NATO must ensure it can deter and be ready to defend every inch of Allied territory. But also, we have to ensure that we understand and are prepared for what may come tomorrow. And we need to do both at the same time. So how? Central to this transformation effort is to develop a multi-domain enabled alliance with new capabilities that reinforce existing one. Hence, we need to implement our digital transformation. Hence, we need both quality and quantity with more unmanned system, highly efficient data-centric solution in order to link seamlessly sensor to shooters and sensor to decision makers. We also have to continue to embrace emerging and disruptive technology, and the initial operational capability of Diana is essential in this regard. We are developing even more experimentation, wargaming, modeling and simulation. We have to leverage partnerships, starting with the commercial sector, especially in the area of digitalization. And finally, we need to improve our agility and our ability to act incrementally. So thank you very much, Win, as a team, and I look forward to answering your question.
Thank you very much. We will now take questions, and we will start with Politico.
Thank you very much. I'm Lily from Politico. I have a question for both Admiral Bauer and for General Cavoli. The question is, given this new era of collective defense with the new regional plans and the new force model, what is your message to the allies, the majority of allies who still don't meet the 2% GDP target for defense investment? And do you think that it is feasible to implement the new plans in a situation, in a setting where not all allies meet the 2% target? Thank you.
There's two different things. So first is that the regional plans and the force structural requirements that come out of it is basically the result of thinking that started with two threats, which is Russia and the terrorist groups. And then we looked together at what do we need to do to actually deter and defend against those two threats. And the regional plans are the follow-up on the deter and defend strategy, and it's more and more detailed per region now. So we know more and more, and in more detail, what we need to do to actually be able to do that. And the next step then is and that's the force structure requirements, is that as a result of those plans, we will now be able to define which capabilities we need in all domains, space, cyber, land, air, maritime, to actually execute those different tasks. So, in the end, the alliance, if all the nations are collectively doing what they have agreed with NATO, then we are able to properly deter and defend those two threats. So, this is the first time that we have an objective way from the threat to the investment targets, so to say, of the nations, and I think that's a big change.
His pen. I haven't looked at it yet.
And I think that will help to convince the nations to actually do what they have agreed with NATO.
He's telling them.
But of course, if nations need more time, or nations have less money, or there's all sorts of things that happen along the way, then it will have an impact of reaching that ideal situation. So the executability of the plans is the result of not only the investments, but it's also on the forces that need to be available in the right number and with the right readiness. It is, of course, the command and control. It is the authorities for the Supreme Allied Commander Europe. It is the plans in even more detail than they are presented and discussed today. And then, of course, it is the capabilities. So all that will take some time to make sure that we get there. It is the result of more recruitment. It is the result of more training. It is the result of
Recruitment.
investments. And that will, whether we like it or not, will take some time. And part of that discussion is the money part, which is the Defense Investment Pledge, which is part of the Vilnius summit, where there is now a political discussion on how much will what will the Defense Investment Pledge be. And of course, there is a connection between what the outcome of those discussions is and all the work that we are facing here with the force structure requirements. Chris.
I had a very thorough answer constructed in my head, but the chairman, one by one, sentence by sentence, covered everything. The only thing I would add is that I would emphasize his point that this is the first time in more than 30 years that we have an objective, plans-based statement of requirements. And that's a real advantage for all nations in the alliance. It will give focus to their national defense planning for collective defense purposes. So it is a very big advance.
And if I may, I can just add that we are in charge to build this future planning process in order either to integrate all the elements coming from the operational parts, the DDA family of plan, but also the mid-term and long-term perspective, and we've got many imperatives to integrate.
Thank you.
I won't play the rest. I won't. But this is serious. It really is. I would say that sometimes all their faces look different. His looked like a really young person over here at sometimes. And I didn't want to dissect it, but something is up. You've got this video right here of NATO. And it happened on May the 10th, right here. Europe. Oh my gosh. EuropeCom and NATO officials. NATO and the European Command. So this is big time. Officials brief the news media as defense leaders from around the world conclude a meeting of NATO's military committee in Brussels. Addressing reporters are Army General Christopher G. Cavalli, Commander of the U.S. European Command and the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, Royal Netherlands Navy Admiral Rob Bauer, and the chair of NATO's military committee, and the French Air Force General Philippe Lavigene, commander of NATO Allied Command Transformation, and the Supreme Allied Commander Transformation. Y'all, this sounds like important titles. So there is a war coming. I know nobody likes war. Do I like war? No, I don't like war. But war happens. Let me see this.
With the tank army, that is not because they don't have fuel in Russia, but because they had it in the wrong place. So logistics is every war.
Very soon, non-classified version of our NATO warfighting captain concept.
Thank you all very much. I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. We will end this press conference with one final statement from Admiral Bauer.
Yes, I thank you all for your presence here in the room and online. And as we said, this new era of collective defense is not just about physically protecting 1 billion citizens, but also about upholding the democratic values we all hold dear. The free and independent press plays a big role in that. And you have an immense responsibility in the global quest for truth. By combating disinformation, you increase the resilience of our citizens. Yesterday, a French AFP journalist was killed by rocket fire in Ukraine, while he was trying to tell the world of the plight of the Ukrainian soldiers. The price for truth can be immeasurably high. And I thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for challenging us. That is exactly how it should be until the next time.
And that was it. You can see that at the, it's at the defense.gov multimedia videos, videoid. If you all ever go over here to this site, let me show you. You come up here and you hover over news, then you scroll down and it will bring up all the videos right here. All these videos. You can see we got Sabrina. Let's see Sabrina, honey. Sabrina, honey, what you doing? You all, can we look at Sabrina, honey? We ain't seen Sabrina, honey, in a long time. Let's look at her for one moment. Sabrina, honey, we're going to look at you. We're going to know your name, because I know you don't get very many views on your video because, you know, what you're sharing, but that's okay. We're going to see you, Sabrina, honey.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, we like Sabrina,
I just have a few
honey.
items at the top here to pass on, and then I'd be happy to take your questions. So getting started right at the top, as you probably have, thanks for more. As of right now, I have nothing more to announce. Our force posture just hasn't changed on that front.
And on the border, do you have any additional details at this point on the border deployment? How many Marines, how many Army?
She's talking about the border.
states do you expect them to be deployed to, and where do you expect they will be coming from? Thank you.
Sure. Great question, Lita, and I'm sorry.
She'll
this
have to
may
get back with
wholly
her.
Unsatisfying answer for you. I would refer you to the services for that, for their numbers of where they're pulling their units from to go to the southwest border. We are anticipating an initial arrival around May 10th, but I would refer
May
you to the
10th.
services for more information on that. Go ahead. Sure.
Thank you, Sabrina, honey. Yes.
Go. Yep, I will. I'm happy to do that. I believe they're also in the process of notifying those units, and that is, you know, of course, they're doing that on their own timeline. But I'd be happy to circle up with them as well. Great. Yeah, Natasha. Can I hand you this, Roger? Sorry.
Sabrina, honey, we're going to have to wait for you to get back to the podium. There she is.
Has the Secretary spoken to his Ukrainian counterpart about that specific incident, and or have Ukrainian military officials been in touch with Pentagon officials about it? And one follow-up.
Yeah, sure. I don't have any conversations to read out that the Secretary has made. I'm not aware of any calls that he's made to Minister Reznikov today.
Requests from other agencies for military assistance at the border, and whether there's an anticipation that there will be a need for more U.S. troops to go down there.
At the moment, I'm not aware of any other requests for DoD support at the border. I mean, it mainly come through DHS, and of course, they made that request.
Sabrina, honey,
this is
you've
a-
got something in your
this is a
hair right
temporary,
there.
Positioning of our
If
service
I could
members
get it
down
out
there.
for you, Sabrina,
Of course,
honey, I would,
DHS
but it's
requests
like,
more or
it's like in your
requests an
hair,
extension, we,
and I don't
would
like that.
certainly review that
I
option and
don't.
Haven't ruled out.
trying to complete the process to share real-time intelligence among the three countries. How much do you think the recent President Moon's visit to the U.S. would be helpful to expedite the process?
Well, we are certainly in touch with our allies and partners in the region. I wouldn't get ahead or share any of what our conversations in terms of intelligence that we share. We continue to monitor the destabilizing activities and continue test launches that the DPRK engages in, but I just don't have anything more to read out about our conversations with allies and partners. Okay, we can make this a short briefing. Just want to say thanks and happy Thursday to everyone. Great.
Thanks, Sabrina, honey. You did great. She did great. Yes, you will. I like to visit Sabrina every now and then since she's on those videos. A nice little ending. That's right, Sabrina, honey. You can do it. You did do it, Sabrina. Wow, my hair looks kind of wild. After looking at that green screen, looking at me, I'm thinking, wow, Gina, honey, you look a little wild. Well, I do look a little wild. Yeah, that was a great... there is something going on, you all. Something major is developing, and it is building up. And today, I think the Defense Secretary is giving... He's in front of Congress about the defense budget today, too. So I'm sure everybody's got to boost their money. They do, but this is serious. And plus, we got the stuff going on the border. We do. So I'm going to go. I am. This is a short video. And we most certainly could have went frame by frame. And we would have saw some really interesting things on here. We really would have. We would have saw this gentleman right here. He looked really a lot younger in some of the movements. But that's okay. We got it. So I'm going to go, and thank you again. And this really is an important video. I'm not just saying that. It's very, very important, because they will have to increase their recruitments. And if there's not enough able bodies, if there's not enough men and women, well, don't say, Gina, honey, they'll never recruit women. Don't say that. Do not say that, because the day will come and the women will go. They'll go. So I'm going to go and continue to live your life. Okay, we got some time to live our life and make preparations. We do. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. It's only 5:30. I can go outside and do some more garden stuff, you all. Love you. Thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. If there's any other moderator, thank you. Hello there, Rainbow Turtle. You all, we got it. Yeah, we got it, you all. You know, when you use comments on here, you call people idiots and stuff. Do you know that the Google algorithm automatically holds your comment? It does. It automatically screens out your comment when you make certain comments. You're thinking, where is my comment? Well, the Google moderator took care of it, and it wasn't me. It was it. So have a wonderful afternoon.